Wow, Ryan Clark. You are making blank up because you don't know me like that, dude. I didn't even realize how long you were on the New York Giants. Your first year, you were a practice squad player, and you're on the defensive side of the ball. What is he talking about? I didn't embrace young players. Ask Brandon Jacobs if I embraced him. Ask Derek Ward if I embraced him. Ask David Deal or Richie Sorberg or any of those guys on my side of the ball if I embraced them. What the hell is he talking about? It's like he's fitting a narrative because he's acting like I'm still a player when it pertains to my comments on Saquon Barkley, and he's kissing Saquon's ass to ingratiate himself with Saquon. His comments make no sense because he's not talking about somebody that he knows well enough to talk about. I honestly don't remember interacting with him as a player. I know he was on the defensive side of the ball. He's an undrafted free agent. I mean, I thought he was a decent player. Went on, had an okay career, won a Super Bowl. I give him kudos. But now that he's the big wig at ESPN, he thinks he can just take shots and his word is gospel, right? That Michael Strahan isn't still my friend, that Sean O'Hara is not still my friend, right? That these guys who I played with and went in the trenches with aren't still my friend. What are you talking about, Ryan Clark? Talking about Bible study and parties for rookies when they don't know if they're going to make the team? What does that mean? It's just it's an opportunistic shot that he's taking because he thinks that he's going to gain advantage by being a jackass to me. Congratulations, Ryan. Good luck in your career as well.
I don't really remember you. Like, were you on the Giants? That was my reaction. You just said.
No, I know. I remember him being on the Giants.
Okay.
I do remember him being on the Giants.
I'm not familiar with your work, sir.
He didn't have a big role on our team.
Yeah.
And he's on the defensive side of the ball. So why would I interact with him on a daily basis?
No, I think you are right, though, about the assessment. This is the chance to get news out of the news.
Yeah.
That's how I take it.
It's an opportunistic downstream attack on me because it fits the narrative that Saquon's and his people want to put out there.
And it sounds like a beg by Ryan Clark. Look, I'm going to say this, Saquon, please come on my podcast next.
Right.
Which, by the way, where that came from.
I mean, and yeah, is Michael Strahan crushed it? Of course. Of course. When I left the NFL and went to the Today Show, nobody had done it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It didn't work out. I went through a horrible divorce because of a lot of things around my professional life, right? So I sat back, got my mental health right, and started at CBS Sports Radio. And now here I am as the afternoon drive host on WFAN.
You see, that's what I'm bothered by. Does Ryan Clark understand you're sitting in Mike Francesa's seat? You're sitting in Christopher Russo's seat?
He doesn't care because he's got the big wig and got a new contract at ESPN. So he's important now. So, I mean, okay. And by the way, my job is to be entertaining, to be informative, to sometimes be visceral. And when Saquon Barkley left the New York Giants as a free agent for the Philadelphia Eagles, we as fans have visceral reactions.
Damn right.
And I'm not claiming to be the voice of the people. I never even said it was tongue-in-cheek. People who listened to it said it was tongue-in-cheek, right? If you watched it, it was tongue-in-cheek. So he's making a story that fits his agenda, and he doesn't know me well enough to talk about me. So shut the hell up, Ryan Clark. Please. You sound like a fool.
You better watch out. Bad Tiki's going to get on his ass, too.
I love it.
Good luck. You're dead to me.
And I can speak for this because I was once that guy. There is not a single 23, 24, 25-year-old kid that has walked through the doors at WFAN and CBS Sports Radio as a teammate of Tiki Barber where Tiki isn't the first person asking their name,
Look at you,
shaking
Sean.
their head, because it's the truth.
That's good. That's
It's
fine.
the truth.
Do it. No, go ahead.
There are a lot of guys with big egos in the history of this building that basically couldn't be bothered with you until you established yourself. But if you were in here for 10 minutes, 2 weeks, or 2 years, Tiki's been nothing but a great teammate. That being said, Tiki, as your current teammate, if you ever invite me to Bible study, just don't put me in that spot where I got to say no.
Yeah, ideally have a barbecue, invite Snooki over, and then invite Sean and I to your house.
That's right.
No.
They're neighbors.
Excuse me, Loogie. You're not done yet. Now you're supposed to do your turn. You're supposed to Your turn.
You don't need to, Loogie.
No, I
It's all
actually
good.
I do need to.
There you go. Let's go.
There's a friend of mine, big Giant fan. He used to go to all the training camps. No joke. He used to say the nicest player on the Giants in all my years is Tiki Barber. And I love Tiki as a player. I love watching him on TV. And now that I got to know him as a friend, as a coworker, you won't find a better person, a stand-up gentleman.
Thank you, Loogie.
He is the most like, you walk around this place and you go, everybody realizes he's Tiki Barber besides Tiki Barber. That's in person. We went to a Yankee game. A kid walked up to him, a fan, and said, "Hey, Tiki, I'd love to have you on my podcast." He goes, "Here's my cell phone." I'm like, "Tiki, this is what I'm here for. I'm supposed to be the buffer." You gave him your number. This is a first-class dude,
By the way, I got to write
Giant
that kid,
legend.
He just wrote me. I got to write him back.
There you go. Well, you're welcome for the reminder.
No, thank you for reminding me. Look, I'm not pretending that I'm perfect. I don't want to be perfect. Right? We're all flawed. We all have our issues. Sometimes we're really good. Sometimes we're really bad. A lot of the times it's just a lot of the in-between. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to be good at my job. And I think I'm good at my job. And whether or not Ryan Clark cares about that, I thought I was good at my job as a football player for the New York Football Giants. I thought I was very good to the guys that came behind me. In fact, so good that they were better than me when I left. I mean, seriously, factually. They rushed for more yards than I did when I left. And they won a Super Bowl. And I have great relationships with the New York Giants and the front office, the coaching staff. So I'm not sure what Ryan is alluding to, but if you think it's cool and trendy to make me the bad guy because it makes you cooler and trendier, by all means, shoot away, Ryan.
Damn
Shoot
right.
away.
Here's my message. Here's my kiss-ass line. I do it very differently, though. Ryan Clark, go F yourself. There you go. That's mine. Now, you want to hear a real swerve here?
Nice and succinct.
I'm just a very succinct guy. I have belief. We are about to play more audio. And this is the swerve that I don't think anyone saw coming. What if I told you we're about to play audio of Saquon Barkley apologizing to Tiki Barber? Because I think that's what we have.
There's no chance.
My interpretation is Saquon Barkley is going to apologize for his exit from the New York Giants. And that's how I take it. Is that not the audio, Sean? Did you lead me down the wrong road?
Well, I mean, we can hear the audio. It was more. He was asked if there was anything he wanted to say to Giants fans.
Oh, okay.
let's
Yeah,
hear
well, Tiki's the king of Giant fans, so I stand by what I just teased and promised. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from the real Saquon Barkley.
What do you say to Giants fans who were hurt by you leaving there?
Yeah, the fans, the Giants fans that were hurt about me leaving, I got nothing but love and respect for all those guys and, you know, all those ladies and just the fans. For the last 6 years, they've been great to me, to my family, created so many memories. You know, I don't think I really handled it the right way on social media. I think I could have gave a proper goodbye. You know, like I said, once I announced, everything kind of got hectic. But yeah, I'm forever grateful for the Giants fans and so thankful for them. But unfortunately, you know, the NFL is a business, and I was able to get to a place that I know I can come here, I can compete, and I can win. I can stay close to home, and I'm just happy that I was able to, you know, be part of this team.
Yeah, I took that as him saying I shouldn't have attacked Tiki on social media. Did you not take it that way, or is that just me?
Everything got out of hand when I first announced.
Right.
That was a subtle way of saying, Tiki, I'm not going to apologize directly to you, but I'm aware of what happened.
Look, Saquon Barkley was like quite literally one of my favorite Giants since I've been gone. He's a good kid. He's an awesome player when he's healthy. And I hated to see him leave. But as a fan, it makes you mad that he went to Philly.
Damn right.
It's as simple as that. I don't know why this gets made into something that Ryan Clark now has to respond to and make me out to be a jackass. Like, come on, Ryan. What are you talking about? We're talking about fandom. And Saquon, I think, understands what the job is that I do. So you remember 2 seasons ago, when we went over to Giants training camp. It wasn't you, it was me and BT. And I had met Daves a couple of times. I called a Buffalo Bills game. So when we were over there, Pat Hanlon called me and said, Daves wants you to come talk to the team. Come talk to the team.
Right.
So I go out and I talk to the team. And Saquon, I see him. And he's like, oh, you're going to love what they're doing with this offense. It's great. We're going to use me in different ways. And I remember leaving that day saying the strength of this team is Saquon and this offensive line. And I remember coming on the radio the next day and saying, I don't know how good they're going to be, but they're going to run for a lot of yards. And Saquon's going to have a great season. And guess what? He did.
Yeah.
So for him to also say, I've been one of a hater from the beginning and wanted to see him fail, it's BS. Because I've done nothing but espouse great things for him. But my point is, on the field, what I said to those guys is, I don't know if you guys know what I do for a living now, but I'm on WFAN. I'm across the water talking sports radios. I said, don't listen to anything that we say. Honestly, because it's not important for you. The only thing that the fan wants is to see you successful. And if you leave it all on the field, every bit of your effort, you leave it on the field, they'll love you because they want to see you successful. So just leave it on the field. That was my message. But it was also, don't listen to sports talk radio.
Right.
Our job is to elicit reaction. Our job is to create conversation amongst the thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who listen to this or consume it in some capacity, right? It's not for you, and it's not personal. But the conversations that we have are about fandom. It's about how we believe that things should happen, fully aware that we have no idea what's actually happening.
Right.
And so to get offended by something that happens on sports radio it's stupid as a player because it doesn't matter.
No, you're right.
The only thing that you as a player can control is how you ball. And if you're great, it's what I said about Aaron Rodgers earlier.
Yep.
If you're great, nothing else matters.
That's it.
If you leave it on the field, nothing else matters. If you help your team have success, nothing else matters. Period.
The other thing is this. I don't think you or I or Sean or Loogie ever attempt to be the voice of the New York fan. We give our opinions.
Right.
And sometimes my opinions actually contradict what a lot of the fans of the team I root for actually think. Maybe it does today in talking about Aaron Rodgers. Sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, you hit it right on the head. You're the voice of the fan. But you and I don't think anyone else really, ever tries to be that. You just try to be honest. And the longer you've been away from playing football,
It's
the
been
more
17 years, by the way.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a long time. The more of a fan you've become.
Of course.
And when
You can't help it.
Of course not.
Especially when you talk about it every day.
Right. And with the Giants more than any other team, you're a fan. I see
doubt.
it. I hear it. I have to deal with it all year, surrounded by all these Giant fans. So when you say, hey, you go to the Eagles, you're dead to me, that's not you attempting to be the voice of the people. That's just you naturally being the voice of the people because that's how we felt.
Right.
That's how I feel. I'm not even a Giant fan, and I feel that way. So you got to understand that. Let's get to some of your calls. Pete's calling from Deer Park. What's up, Pete?
Hey, Tiki, love you, man. I'm on your team. That egomaniac, he can kiss my, you know what? Okay? And I'm telling you, I would play for your team. I would run through the wall for you.
Thank you.
This guy goes to the stinking Eagles, and if even it worse, he could have went to the Cowboys. He could have went to any team in the world. But you got to tell me, this egomaniac, he's got to go. I can't stand listening to him.
I don't know who he's talking about.
He's
Saquon
talking about
or Ryan
He's
Clark?
talking about Ryan, but then he was also throwing in Saquon.
That's what happens. You got angry. People are angry. They're just angry at everybody.
I mean, Ryan's point. I mean, he's uninformed. He doesn't know me that. He doesn't know me like that. Don't talk about me like that because you don't know me like that. You don't know my relationships with my team, my former teammates, the organization. You don't know my relationships with countless people around the NFL. You don't know, right? But you act like you know. You speak in a nice, calm, controlled way and give this like perfect troll job, not even troll job, but kill job of me. And it's not true. Right? It's frustrating. I can't even like really fire back at him because I don't know him well enough to fire back at him. It's just I hate the opportunism. I really do. I really do. It's disappointing more than anything because Ryan Clark is supposed to be ascending up this ladder at ESPN to be one of the great young black former athlete players in that team that ESPN, and he's taken a pointless shot? Like, why? Because it made you feel good? Made you feel like you could inject yourself in this story? You're going to be the voice of reason for the player, for the Saquon Barkleys of the world? Come on, Ryan. You've been in it long enough to know that that's BS.
I think he's full of crap, too, for another reason, Tiki. These Saquon comments have been 3 days old. They've been a big story. And we know how the NFL players circle is. If Ryan Clark really felt that way about you, he would have spent the rest of his career in other locker rooms saying, you know who wasn't like this? Tiki Barber.
Right.
We would have had these stories by now, and other people would have spoken up and said, I heard Tiki wasn't the best locker room guy, but it takes Ryan Clark saying it now, again, trying to use the cloud for his own podcast.
That's right. Opportunistic. Let's go to Mike in Brooklyn. Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's up? Listen, don't give this guy Ryan Clark what he wants. You're giving him publicity.
But I had to
You
respond
guys don't
to
need
him.
to defend. Okay, wait. Let me finish. You don't need to defend Tiki because anybody that listens to the show, Tiki brings a level of class that the show didn't have before.
I don't do that. Now you're taking shots at other people.
Taking shots at Loogie.
I'm sorry, Evan. Evan, listen, you have your moments, but Tiki's a class guy. You could hear it. You can hear it in what he says
Mike,
and how he says it.
no one's disputing Tiki's class, and I am not trying to put my class up there. It just felt like you were taking a shot at somebody. That's all. And,
He kind of did.
like you can, it's possible to compliment someone without shooting at someone else.
Right.
That person doesn't necessarily deserve it. Loogie and Big Mac. He's not talking about anybody else. I can't imagine.
From the guy who pats his penis, he's going to give us a master class in having class, Evan.
God.
Okay.